welcome everyone. So good to see so many dressed festive. I think maybe our president-elect takes the award, and he is quite there. We will start with prayer. Dr. Lamar.
So I was at the Christmas program this morning for the Sunrise Club, and I got all dressed up and wore my Santa Claus tie. I have absolutely nothing in my wardrobe that even comes close to that. I don't even have a saddle blanket that looks like that. So as we go to our time of prayer, I think we need to pause and remind ourselves how blessed we are for the season, and also to remember the people in Arkansas, Missouri, and Kentucky. Joan and I served in Wichita Falls beginning in 1991, 12 years after the 79 tornado. And there was no one in that city that hadn't been touched by that event. There are 140 people killed. Everybody knew somebody had died or someone was hurt. The news commentators say that it'll be a while before these people recover. It's going to be decades, and it may be even generational memory. It's just horrific, and we need to thank God that it wasn't us. Not that we wanted to be them, but it wasn't us, and that we are blessed. So let's pray. Oh God, we come before you on this absolutely beautiful late fall day. It's amazing. It's the middle of December and the temperature's in the 70s, and we give you thanks for it. We give you thanks for this club, for the season that we're in. We give you thanks for the work that we do. We ask your Spirit to be upon us, to bless us in our work, and bless the food that is before us, to take it to the nourishment of our bodies. But oh God, we also come in great humility today to remember people like us who are suffering with the tornado damage, and we lift them up, and we ask to be given opportunities to support and to serve and to pray for them. In the name of the Christ, amen.
Thank you. Now we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Dr. Parr. Is Dr. Parr here? No. Richard, would you like to fill in? Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now we're going to enjoy a song. Okay. Deck the halls. Awesome. Yes, sir. It's the season Thank you. At this time, Teresa's going to introduce the guests for us. However, I wanted to mention the bucket money today. The board has decided that we will give as a gift to the waiters that help us with each meeting and do an outstanding job. So if you can dig a little deeper and let's show our love and appreciation and make a generous gift. Thank you, Tracy. Okay, thank you. Just as a reminder, I know many of you have reached out to Lazaro with helping with the marathon, and I appreciate that. He's not here today because I'm sure he's very, very busy doing last minute things. But if you haven't reached out and you'd like to help Lazaro, he would appreciate it. And we can give you a number and how to reach you. Well, today we have some online. I must mention our Max, our district governor. Max, good to see you in Zoom. Yay, and Laura Manning's online. Thank you, Laura. And then I see Randy. And am I missing anyone? So thank you for joining by Zoom, and we're wishing you a blessed, happy Christmas holiday. Thank you. Well, we are getting ready to be blessed with our president-elect, and we have the Davidson granddaughter, is that correct? Going to entertain us and help us to get into the holiday spirit. So thank you so much. Come on up. Thank you. And you can introduce yourself. I forgot your name.
Hi, I'm Shannon.
Okay, sorry.
Cold.
Oh, no.
Out the holly, put up the tree before my spirit falls again. The stocking, he may be washing things, but deck the halls again now. For we need a little Christmas, breakfast merry maid, candles in the window, carols at the spinach. Yes, we need a little Christmas, breakfast merry maid. It hasn't snowed a single flurry, but Santa dear, we're in a hurry. So climb down the chimney, put up the brightest string of lights I've ever seen sliced. The fruit cake, it's time we hung some tinsel on that evergreen bough. For we need a little music, need a little laughter, need a little singing, ringing in the rafter, and we need a little snapping, happy ever after. We need a little Christmas now. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful, and since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Doesn't show signs of starting, and it wants some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. And we finally kiss goodnight. How I'll hate going out in the storm, but if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. The fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbye. But as long as you love me so, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow and snow and snow. For we need a little Christmas, right this very minute. Candles in the window, carols at the spinach. Yes, we need a little Christmas, right this very minute. We need a little Christmas.
So I think this club is starting to learn it's always dangerous when they give me time and a mic. It's almost as bad as when John Van Buren has the mic. Just saying. But, 2020 was a difficult year. It was a bit of a train wreck. So I thought we could all use a little bit of joy. And I'm pretty immature, so I wanted to make sure that I presented something that was on my level, and maybe it will speak to you also. But it's a children's story. It's one of my favorites and one of my kids' favorites. We read it multiple times this time of year. So if Jordan is able to make it work, I will share this story with you also.
Gust blew him off his feet. It took hold of his cozy nest and tossed it high into the air. Little Hedgehog trembled as the wind whistled around him, and he wondered what to do. He caught hold of his scarf and hat and mittens before they blew away, and tried to find shelter under the tree roots. But wherever he went, the wind blew there as well. "I'll have to stay with Badger until this storm is gone," he said at last, pulling his woolly hat firmly over his prickles. Then he snuggled into his cozy scarf and put on his mittens, and with a deep breath, he set off. The wind was even stronger in the meadow. Leaves swirled here and there, and snowflakes filled the air. Little Hedgehog hadn't gone far when he bumped into a family of field mice, shivering in the long grass. "I've never known such a storm," squeaked Mother Mouse. "The wind has blown our nest far away, and my poor babies are so cold." "My home has been blown away as well," said Little Hedgehog. "I'm on my way to stay with Badger, but I have just the thing to warm you up." And he took off his woolly hat and gave it to the mice. "Oh, lovely, lovely," they squeaked, snuggling down out of the wind. "Thank you, Little Hedgehog." Little Hedgehog tucked his nose inside his scarf and ran along beside the racing river. Otter was on the bank, huffing and puffing on his paws. "Hello, Otter," shouted Little Hedgehog. "What are you doing?" "Oh, hello, Hedgehog," replied Otter. "My fur coat keeps me warm, but my paws are freezing." "Well, here, have these," said Little Hedgehog, giving Otter his mittens. "They should do the trick." "Thank you, Little Hedgehog," said Otter. "These are great. But shouldn't you be at home in this cold weather?" "I have no home any more," said Little Hedgehog, sadly. "The wind has blown it away." And running on, he cried, "I'm going to stay with Badger." By the time Little Hedgehog reached the woods, the snow was getting deeper. On and on he struggled, picking his way between snowdrifts as the wind howled around him. A mother deer and her fawn were sheltering in the bushes. "Oh, Little Hedgehog, why aren't you in your nest in this awful storm?" she asked. So Little Hedgehog told Mother Deer about his nest blowing away. But as he spoke, he saw that the little fawn was shaking with cold. "Here, take this," he said, giving the fawn his scarf. "How kind you are," said Mother Deer. "Thank you, Little Hedgehog." Little Hedgehog pattered on, faster and faster. But just as he finally saw Badger's house at the bottom of the hill, he skidded on the icy path. "Help!" he cried, as he went bumping and bouncing through the snow. Badger was making tea when he heard a big thud outside. "Whatever was that?" he cried, dropping his toast. When he opened the door, a prickly snowball rolled in. Gracious me, he said in surprise. It's little Hedgehog. Badger carried little Hedgehog to an armchair by the fire and gave him a cup of tea. Little Hedgehog told Badger about his journey through the storm, and then, cozy and warm, he fell fast asleep. Little Hedgehog stayed with Badger until the storm had gone. As they walked to where his house had been, Little Hedgehog was very worried. How can I build a strong nest if all the leaves and twigs have blown away and there's nothing left? He asked anxiously. I'll help you, said Badger kindly. We're nearly there now. Surprise! Came the cry when they turned the corner. Little Hedgehog gasped with delight. The animals he'd met in the storm had made him the coziest nest he'd ever seen. For the kindest hedgehog in the world, they all cried together.
Cute story, right? Yeah, it's unmuted. There we go. Can everyone hear me again? Very nice. Really, really cute story. Sweet and kind. Most of the time as a pastor, I feel like the little hedgehog when he's rolling down the hill, headed towards Christmas Eve. But I love this story because I think at its heart, it gets at the true meaning of Christmas, the reason for the season. And that leads me to another book, The Joy of Giving, the Bernstein Bears' Joy of Giving. And so especially as we are a service organization and our motto is service above self, you know, it is the giving of ourselves, our time, our talents. Occasionally we shell over some money to help people in need in the organizations that we support. And that is key to what Christmas should be about. And in this book, the brother and sister fight about what they're going to get each other. They spend just a couple of dollars on each other so that the $10 that grandma gave them, they could pocket the rest to get what they really wanted for Christmas. And then through their adventure, they realize that it's more important to give than worry about what you're going to get. And so I love that in this story with the hedgehog, he gives out of the little bit that he has to take care of other people. And then what he finds out is on his journey as he's giving and being kind to those he meets along the way, you know, he had suffered a tragedy as well. And because he had been so generous and caring, the community was very quick to step up and help him. And so he also received a special gift from those that he had helped. So our giving and our kindness and our joy is circular. So I want us to remember that as we're sharing Christmas with our loved ones and people we care about. And it wouldn't be right if I didn't wish all of you a Merry Christmas. So I have a very special gift for you. Rick Lindsay really wanted me to sing, so I'm going to sing. Now, this is a classical piece. I'm going to sing it a cappella. And so I hope this is something that brings joy to your heart. Green, 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 green poo. Green, 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 green poo. Leaking from a baby's rear. I try real hard to not go near. But when I see that smelly mess, I lose control, I must confess. I fling green poo, just as a monkey would do. I fling green poo, you can fling it too. When someone is feeling sick or wishing it would come more quick, if reoccurring, it's a sign of trouble, so don't delay, see a doctor on the double. I fling green poo, just as a monkey would do. I fling green poo, you can fling it too. Green, 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 green poo. Green, 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 green poo. Some may say this song is lewd, but they might rethink their attitude. Here is the truth, though it may be odd. Green poo is proof of the humor of God. I fling green poo, just as a monkey would do. I fling green poo, you can fling it too. I hope you're all properly disgusted after, oh, you want more? I don't want everyone to lose their lunch. But friends, I think it's good for us to laugh and to be silly and to spread the joy and love and hope and peace of the season, because that's what makes a difference. And as we share a smile, as we share a hug, as we share a silly song or a joke, we can brighten the lives of others. And so as we enjoy the festivities of the season, let's remember to be giving of ourselves and to make sure that we are spreading joy to a world that is broken and hurting. So I'm going to let us get back to what we really want to hear and invite Shannon to come forward for some more Christmas cheer.
I don't know how I'm going to talk.
I'll get stuck in your head.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. From now on, thy troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, your troubles will be miles away. Here we are as in olden days, having golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years we all will be together, if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest. Have yourself a merry little Christmas now. Here we are, as in golden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more. Through the years we all will be together, if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest. Have yourself a merry little Christmas now.
Please let us give it up one more time for Shannon. She is the true star of our program today. But I did want to leave you guys with one more thing, and that is that I hope your faith would speak this Christmas season as loud as my Christmas suit. So if you guys can do that, I think our season will be merry and bright. So shine that light, y'all.
Well, I guess we're never disappointed when our president-elect gets front and center, right? That was tremendous. And Shannon, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for coming. And absolutely, Sandra, the piano accompanying is over the top, as always. You always never miss a note. So thank you. Well, at this time, I'd like Rick to come forward. We're going to make a presentation. We talked about this at our last week's meeting, but we didn't have Bob Bourgeois with us. So Bob's here today, and we would like to present him with his Paul Harris pen. And Rick did such a fine job last week talking about the Paul Harris and what it means. Yeah. And so I'd like for you to share a little bit of what Bob has done to accomplish this. Level 2.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you, President Linda. It is my pleasure because Bob Bourgeois, as you know, is a superb leader in the flag program, was before I got here, continues to do that. He is true service above self. And so it is an honor for me to work beside him. And Bob makes all the tough decisions when it comes to the flag program. So I defer to him to make the real decisions. But it's a pleasure for me to help this club recognize Bob's contribution to the Paul Harris Foundation. And he now will receive, Bob, come on up here. I hope you got your speech ready. Bob will, Bob's contribution of over $3,000 means he has a Paul Harris +2. Let's give it up for Bob Bourgeois. Bob.
This is a sapphire.
Mm-hmm. Oh, neat. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Bob. Appreciate you. Appreciate all that you do.
Handshake's fine, but you're up the microphone. You're up.
Here's your box.
Thank you.
Here's your box, Bob. Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, Bob. Thanks for the contribution and the hard work. Well, I've already made an apology, but I'm going to formally make the apology from the podium. Last week, Jordan, your fill-in did an outstanding job, sort of. But we did make it through that presentation. And in my haste, I looked around the room, but I overlooked a person who's very important. And Val, get your words ready because you're going to join me up here. So I would like to ask Valerie to join me up here and talk a little bit about a topic that I went over briefly. And I would like for her to just share whenever I got the word back a couple of months ago that the grant requests were due. I called President Linda and said, who would you like to do that? She said, well, of course, the committee chair. So I called Valerie and sent her what I had. Val, would you like to come tell this club what you did for grants for our club?
Also, I'd like to add, it was Val's idea to take the bucket money today and give it to the waiters and assistants with their meetings. And Tracy just informed me we pulled in $238. Thank you.
So for the grants, there's a grant application. There's two different types that we have through the district. There's the international grants and also regular district grants. And we've applied for and received the district grant. We contributed $7,500 to the Irving School District, Irving School District Foundation program. And we received back about 50% of that as a grant from the district. So from what I understand, the foundation contributions that we make 3 or 4 years down the road are what is available for the grants. And in a little bit along that same line, at the last district meeting, District Governor Max DePlant gave us this banner here for the year 2020, 2021, 100% member participation for this club. So that's all due to us. So.
Thank you for the update. Well, how do we get that banner? And I know I'm speaking to, everybody here almost knows this, but Terry, we talked about this a little bit the other day. 100% participation means that you start, as Bobby Haas said last week, you start making a contribution, either monthly, quarter, whatever you'd like to do. And that then helps, as Bob just was recognized with the Paul Harris too. We have others, of course, Bobby, what'd you get last week? Was it a 6? It was a Ruby. Yeah, so I think he may be the top. What that does to tie it all together, if we have 100% participation, then when Valerie applies for the grants, we are in that upper tier group. Help me out, John, but we're in that upper group that we're pretty well assured of getting that percentage, that high percentage of dollars. So when we give Schools Foundation 7,000, we get back 3,500, then we can take that 3,500 and do other things with it. So paperwork, a lot of work behind the scenes there, but our club members are the key to us being in that upper level. President Linda, thank you for letting me speak. You're doing a great job. Shannon, thank you. You got me in the spirit.
And as Bobby mentioned last week, he has his set up for an automatic draft each month. And it does add up and make a difference. So I'd encourage all of you to go online and set up to make an automatic contribution monthly. Whatever amount you can budget in adds up and makes a larger difference. So thank you. Patty would like to give us an update with our 85th year anniversary celebration. Thank you, Patty.
Good afternoon. Well, on Thursday, February 17th, 2022, we will not have a noon meeting. It'll be in the evening, 5 to 7, and it'll be down the hall in the large ballroom. And we're going to celebrate the 85th anniversary of our club. So we'll have some displays and some things going on and some speakers, but be sure and plan to attend that meeting. It will be a fun evening. I so appreciate the committee that's been working with me. And so we do look forward to that. Now, this is an example, Val, of the type thing that we'd like to display. So, buddy, if you have anything in your closet, David Harris, those who've been members a while, if you have any memorabilia or artifacts, ooh, that sounds old. Please bring them when we meet again in January. I'm working with the Archives and Museum for what we have in the archives, and you'd be amazed. But if you do have anything that we could use in a display, we'd love to use it. We can either give it back to you or you can donate it to the Irving Archives. So thank you very much. Our 85th anniversary on February 17th. Thank you.
I see that Jordan highlighting some of the members ringing the bell. I don't see my photo up there, but Ed took one, so maybe we didn't get it to you, Jordan. But there were a lot of members helping, and Ed had to leave early, but he wanted me to tell each and every one of you how much he appreciated your help, and we had a good year, and we'll give some more updates with numbers and help all of us feel good about 2 hours of ringing the bell and making a difference for families that would not have a Christmas without our help. So, anyone else have announcements or anything you need to add or share? Okay, we're going to have the four-way chess with our past president, Robert Osborne. Robert? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Exactly. We will not have a meeting next week or the following week. And so our first meeting will be January the 6th. So I'm wishing everyone a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and I'll see you next year.